What's going on, everybody? Welcome to another video. I am here with Ricky Rips. We're going to be having a fun buy, sell, trade segment here on the channel. Obviously, with sports being a huge focal point pretty much all year round, there's no better time to do it right now in the midst of the basketball playoffs, while the baseball season is full swing and the football season is quite dormant / ahead of us. So, Ricky, how's it going, man? Good to have you on.
I'm good, Murph. How are you? Nice to see
Oh,
you
I
again.
can't complain. Celtics suck, but I can't complain.
Listen, they
So,
did the same thing last rounds. They're fine.
yeah, tell me about it. It's a thing I don't like getting used to, but it seems like that's going to be a trend for at least this series. We'll see what else we have in store, but there is one rule to this buy sell trade segment. All right.
Okay.
So I'm going to give you the name of the athlete. I'm going to give you probably like 2 to 3 sentences about them, even though you know who they are, but just for the viewers and such, just for some context. And you're just simply going to tell me if you're buying them, if you're selling them, and if you're trading them. However, the one rule is you can only trade the person once. You can only trade them once. So you can't say, oh, I'll trade everybody. You only
Okay.
trade one person. So you're either
I'll
buying
trade one person.
or selling, and you're only trading once.
Gotcha.
That's it. Now, obviously, having no idea who these guys are, you're completely in the dark. So you have
Yeah.
no idea who to trade for. Now, this is trade for, right? So you're not trading away this player, you're trading for them. However, you can only use your trade once and you can't change it. So if you use your trade on the first player, you have to buy or
And I
sell
can't
everybody else. And you got to tell me why. Like, I need some legitimate reasons why. And of course, I'll share mine as well throughout. But are you ready? Any questions?
Let's do it.
All right.
Sounds
So
fun.
this is where the fun that I kind of alluded to started. Number one, Josh Allen. Now, I already know that you purchased a card from your Instagram. I already saw that, but I already had this list determined before I saw that. So a little bit about Josh Allen. The AFC is much more difficult now than it ever was. The Bills team as a whole took a huge hit this past offseason, losing key players. However, Josh Allen is probably still a top 5 MVP candidate, despite having nothing to show for it. So, are you buying, are you selling, or are you trading for Josh Allen? And why?
Hmm. Honestly, I might be buying Josh Allen now
Buying Josh Allen. Why is that?
because I feel like more focus is more so on these new quarterbacks like the Kenny Pickett's, Ritters, even last year's quarterbacks. So I feel like attention has gone off on Josh Allen a little bit. So maybe he's a little cheaper.
Yep.
And the Bills are due, like they have to do something soon.
I
They
mean,
have to have a
you
deep
would
playoff.
you would think, and I totally agree with you, as obviously much as a Patriot fan I am, but the Bills have such a good team overall. However, they've yet to make it to the AFC title game. And
They
again, this
have.
conference is only getting tougher. So, me personally, I'm selling Josh Allen for the reason because his value is tremendously high on a lot of his cards. A lot of his more expensive cards are very expensive. So why would I buy into those? However, I think I want to take advantage of the market and sell those off because me personally, the Bills will finish first in the AFC East. However, I don't think they're going to be able to make much noise because you can expect the Chiefs to be in it. You can expect the Bengals to be in it. Jets have a lot of attention on themselves this year. Jags maybe even can make some noise. So there's a lot going on, and I didn't even talk about the Bills when I just rattled off 4 teams. So for that reason, I'm selling Josh Allen, but I do think he's a good buy for the reasons that you said. But if I had to pick, I am going to sell him. Number 2, Luka Doncic.
Oh
Again,
God.
made no noise in the playoffs, didn't even make the playoffs this year. Similar to Josh Allen, he has done very little in his career, with the exception of putting up some good numbers and good stats. But in terms of playoff and success, he has done really nothing. Again, his cards remain tremendously high. Yes, he is still fairly young. He is one of the best players in the league. But what does that mean if you have nothing to show for it? Are you buying, selling, or trading Luka Doncic?
Yeah, I'm selling Luka. I just don't see the Mavs doing anything anytime soon, especially being tied up with Kyrie. Like they tried to go all in for it this year and didn't even make the playoffs.
So that's
So
a
I
really, really good point. And obviously things can change in the offseason. I expect them to. And Luka's been a one-man show for several years. And even when you bring in a high caliber player, as much of a headache as Kyrie is, he is still a very good player at the end of the day. And they still weren't able to do anything.
exactly.
Um,
I just
the
don't see.
West,
I
go ahead.
don't see them getting any better. I mean, his like Josh Allen, like you said, his name alone makes you want to buy him.
Mhm.
Other than that, he hasn't really done much either.
I mean, Josh Allen, like Josh Allen, Luka's in that category of, yeah, you want to buy him because of the name, you see the talent and the potential and all the statistics he's putting up. But for the price point in relative terms, doesn't make sense. I mean, before you moved, we talked about this all the time, is Jason Tatum is so undervalued. Why?
Hmm.
Yes, Tatum hasn't won anything either, but at least he's been to the Eastern Conference Finals 4 of 6 years. He's been to the NBA Finals. He finished fourth in MVP. So, like, he has something to show for it. And his cards are a
Exactly.
fraction less of the price. So it just makes absolutely no sense. Makes absolutely no sense. Number 3. We're going to stick with basketball here. We're going to go with Nikola Jokic. Now, 2-time MVP, finished second in this year's MVP race. He's done nothing in terms of no championships, but he has MVPs. He puts up great
Mhm.
numbers, and the Nuggets are up 2-0 as it stands right now on the Los Angeles Lakers for a trip to the NBA Finals. After winning 1 MVP, his market did nothing. After winning 2, it did nothing. But what will it take for his market to really ascend? So, Ricky, are you buying, selling, or trading for Nikola Jokic?
So I was gonna say buy just off the points that you just made because
Mm-hmm.
he's still cheap in the hobby. He's unappreciated. I don't like people are just now starting to buy his rookies and all that stuff, but like it took him winning 2 MVPs for you guys to finally notice him. So I guess he still has a lot of room to grow. I think he's gonna have to win the championship for his value to go up.
To do anything, yeah.
And even then, that'll be like a short term boom. Are people still gonna like appreciate him? Like come next season, come to start of next season, come to off season,
So
because he's
like
not one of those names like Luca, Jason. So
his name's
I think
not sexy, but his play is
exactly,
sexy.
exactly. So I think I'll buy in Jokic.
So you're buying Jokic. So like when you think of like top 10 players of all time, and like there's probably 20 people you could throw in that list. But like outside of your LeBron, your Jordan, your Kobe, Bird, obviously, those are all guards and forwards. But Bill Russell, Kareem, Wilt, Shaq, they're all big men.
Hmm.
But in those cards, relatively speaking, have some kind of value, maybe because they played 50, 40, 30 years ago, whereas Jokic is playing today and he's having a really good career. And like you said, I do think it's going to take that breakthrough for him to kind of gain that value. But where his play isn't sexy, he's not going out and doing these crazy reverse dunks. But he is putting
Exactly.
up 50. He is giving you triple doubles. He's giving you everything that these other players give you. But his value is just tremendously, I think, undervalued. I mean, I looked it up earlier. His PSA 10 Silver Prism is trending upwards. It's a pop 141 and it's $3,500, which is a high price tag for a center. But like when you think of all the accolades and everything he's done, it's like, wow, Luka cards are more expensive than that. And Luka hasn't done anything that Jokic has done. So it's like, so at the end of the day, me personally, I'm going to trade for Jokic. I'm going to use my trade here because I don't want to buy into a big man because I think their shelf life is much shorter. But it's hard to excuse what he has done so far. And I think what he's done so far is impressive. And of course, he has a chance to go out and win that title this year, or at least get to the finals being up 2-0. All right. We're both baseball guys, right? As we both love and know baseball. So number 4, Jackson Holiday. Now, everyone's been going crazy over Jackson Holiday since the draft. And before I give you reasons about Jackson Holiday, why you should or shouldn't, let me just read off the past 3 first-round picks, first overall. So 1-1, Spencer Torkelson in 2020 to the Tigers, Henry Davis, catcher to the Pirates, and then, of course, Jackson Holliday, shortstop to the Orioles. Now, I don't know about you, but no one around here is buying Henry Davis cards. Granted, he's in the minor league still, but he's still a top-tier catcher. No one is buying Spencer Torkelson cards. Still has a lot of potential, but he hasn't really done anything yet. So why are people buying Jackson Holliday cards through the nose right now? Makes no sense. Young potential, high ceiling. Orioles are kind of good right now. So, Ricky, what are you doing? Are you buying, selling, or trading Jackson Holliday, all things considered?
I think I'm going to trade for it.
Trade. All right. I like
Because
that.
yeah, I understand. Yeah, he is overhyped. Yeah, there's a lot of money in him right now. But with Bowman, anything could happen. So he could
Explain.
blow when he comes to the majors. He could blow up.
Mm-hmm.
It can be worth double, triple, quadruple what it is now. So I think I think he's worth the risk.
Worth the risk via trading, though, but you're not buying him. So why
No,
aren't you buying him? Why wouldn't you put physical money towards it, but you'll put assets in terms of trade towards them?
just because of that risk right there.
Okay. So
Because
you
you never
feel
boom or
more
bust.
confident.
Yeah,
Gotcha.
and
Gotcha.
because his prices are higher right now.
So for
So,
me, for the reasons that you said, obviously the whole risk, boom or bust, I'm gonna sell just based on the track record. And I only did to 2020 just because those players from that class are either in the big leagues or kind of bouncing up and down between pros and the minors
mhm.
or haven't even reached it yet. So again, when I look at 1-1 from 2020, Spencer Torkelson, yeah, he's a great player. He's a up and coming player, but no one's talking about him. Again, Henry Davis, no one's talking about him. And these are, I mean, I know Torkelson's a first baseman now, but he was a third baseman, which is a premier position. Catcher, not the sexiest position, but an important position. So, like, I know shortstop has a little bit more weight, but why? Why should I still believe in this guy when the Orioles have Gunnar Henderson, who they just called up last year? So, me personally, I'm selling Jackson Holliday. I'm going to take advantage of the hype right now. I'm going to sell him off. I may wait for a dip, maybe an injury, maybe poor performance when he does make it to the majors to get back into him. But as it stands right now, I'm going to sell because there's too much time left. He's not going to see the big leagues for another 2-3 years. So might as well cash out while I can.
Got to trade for him and hold on to it.
I mean, if I didn't already use my trade, I probably would trade for him. Obviously, there's no take backsies, but I'm gonna sell just because the track record. No one's paying
Yeah.
attention to the other two guys, and I could look back at 19 and 18 and see what those guys are
Uh,
doing. But number 5, neither of us can trade for this player, so we are either buying or selling this player. This
okay.
player just recently signed a massive contract. That player's name is Lamar Jackson. So his silver PSA 10 on April 27th went for $2,500, which is less than the previous sale in March of $3,300. Now, he also signed that contract on the 27th of April. So I don't know what came first, the
Mhm.
signing of the contract or the date of the time of the sale. I don't know. But are we buying, selling, or trading Lamar Jackson, all things considered? Injury history, lack of weapons, potential rift between him and the coaches and the ownership group in Baltimore. Again, like Josh Allen, high ceiling, high potential, good stats, crowded AFC. Ricky, buy, well, I guess I should say buy or sell Lamar Jackson.
So I do believe in his talent. I do think he's a good quarterback, but you got to sell him. I just don't see the
Sell.
Ravens doing anything.
Interesting.
I, yeah, I just think his play is too inconsistent.
So like I love Lamar Jackson for fantasy purposes. I'll take him in the first round, I'll take him in the second round, any draft I can. But in terms of sports card investing, he's not a pocket guy. He likes to scramble, he likes to run. And yeah, that's flashy and that's cool and that's great for the stats. But he's 1-2 in the playoffs. He's had a couple of injuries where he's missed significant time. Yeah, a lot of it's guaranteed, so he's going to be tied up in Baltimore for many years to come.
Mhm.
I also don't like that risk of it. So from that perspective, I too am selling. But let me tell you this. He's a good buy right now for the reason of him kind of locking out with Baltimore. People are kind of having him afterthought because of T-Law, Burrow, Fields, Rodgers coming over, Mac or Zappy. I mean, there's so many different quarterback conversations out there. And I
Exactly.
think Lamar Jackson, if he can return to relative MVP form with Odell, with his running abilities, he becomes a good buy because I do think he's undervalued. So maybe there is an argument to buy. I just don't like the risk of it. So for that matter, I am going to sell. But if you chose to buy, I wouldn't disagree.
It's just a matter of can he live up to his contract? Because
And that's
that's a
going to be
lot.
tough.
That's going
Yeah.
to be a lot of pressure.
It's a lot of money, it's a lot of years, and a lot of hits on his body, whether it's from being in the pocket or getting pushed out of bounds or being tackled in the open field. It's just his style. He's not a big guy. Can he take it? I mean, people talk about Bryce Young, can Bryce Young last in the NFL? Well, at least Young is young and he hasn't had as many hits yet. Lamar has been in the league for 5 years already. And it's funny, looking back at our segment, I didn't plan this out. I didn't buy a single person. I sold Allen, I sold Luca, I sold Jackson Holliday, and I sold Lamar, and I traded for Jokic, which is again, I didn't plan that out, but
Okay.
hopefully next time I'm buying
So
a few people.
so who are you buying?
So from this group, if I had to pick one player to buy, I'd probably say Lamar Jackson just for the all the
Yeah.
up potential reasons that I just listed. But I'd probably lean more towards Josh Allen just because I see a brighter future for Josh Allen than I do with Lamar. I think that when you look at the AFC, you're always putting the Bills ahead of the Ravens. Like we could
Yeah.
probably sit here and name 3 to 4 teams that should be in the AFC title game, and the Bills are probably always going to be in that conversation where the Ravens aren't. And all it's going to take is for Josh Allen to break through once to get to the Super Bowl, win or lose, for his value to go up even tremendously higher. Look at Joe Burrow a couple of years ago. Look at Jalen Hurts this past year. So if I had to pick one, it would be Josh Allen. So before
Allen's
we
gonna have
conclude, what's that?
Josh Allen's gonna have to be either T Law, Mahomes, Rodgers, Burrow in the playoffs. So if he beats any of them, then he's gonna blow up.
That's the thing. I mean, if you get, Rodgers in the first round, Bills versus Jets, Allen versus Rod, like I mean, there's so much juice there, and if you can beat at least one of the best players in terms of talent of all time in Rodgers, that's going to help significantly. So, any closing remarks before we wrap up today's video?
This is fun. I
This was
think
fun. Yeah,
I think football in general is a buy right now.
agreed. Couldn't agree more.
Yeah.
This was the first ever buy sell trade. Definitely want to throw more names at you in another video. Maybe have a twist to it. I like though you can only trade one person twist to it. I definitely want future twist to give it a little spice every video. But thank you so much, Ricky, for joining me today on this video. Any shout outs to your social media that you want to drop real quick?
Follow me on Instagram, RickyRipsMA, YouTube, eBay, all that good stuff. Thank you, Murph. I appreciate it. Video was fun. Look forward to doing it again.
Absolutely. Anytime. See you later, man.